A Bluefield Hills businessman is charged with running a multi-million-dollar stock scam. That's according to a federal indictment.
So here's the deal. The charges may be new, but as problem solver investigator Rob Wolchek reports, he is not new to the Fox 2 Hall of Shame.
Robert Shoemake is a guy who keeps reinventing himself. He's a businessman, an author, a spiritual leader of a church. But one thing remains the same. He always seems to get himself in trouble. Look who's in trouble again. It's Robert Shoemake, a guy I've been doing stories on for years.
Don't push me.
Well, we're trying to talk to Robert. Would you like to say anything?
To a real journalist, certainly.
Okay, well, I'm here. That's a clip from 2017 when Shoemake was in Oakland County Circuit Court. Here's a clip from 2010 when Shoemake literally ran away from me. More on the old messes Robert got himself into in a minute. First, here's the new mess. Robert's been indicted by the feds for allegedly being the mastermind of a multi-million-dollar penny stock scam. Here's the indictment. United States of America versus Bobby Shoemake Jafia, a.k.a. Robert Samuel Shoemake. Shoemake is charged with one count of securities fraud and one count of obstruction, which carry a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison on each count. According to the press release, Shoemake is charged with defrauding investors in Minerco, Inc., leading to millions of dollars in investor losses, as well as obstructing a Security and Exchange Commission proceeding by destroying evidence. The indictment lays out a pump-and-dump stock scheme where Shoemake is alleged to have sold 1 billion shares of Minerco stock to manipulate the price. It says Shoemake made $2 million on the dealings. Minerco was promoted as a company working on research into psilocybin medicine, according to the indictment. Shoemake concealed his role with Minerco, even though he controlled all aspects of Minerco and ran its day-to-day operations. Also cited in the indictment are several of my old Hall of Shame stories on Shoemake, which show a bit of a pattern. In 2010, I was looking into a company called Mortgage Auditors of America. I interviewed more than 100 of their customers who said the company had taken their money and not performed their services. Many of these victims were crying and about to lose their homes. I was able to link Shoemake to the company. My first meeting with him, he ran away. Then, in a sit-down interview, Shoemake denied wrongdoing but admitted this.
I invested in the company, hired presidents, CEOs, chief operation officers, national sales directors, everyone to run and manage the company.
So you were the boss, right?
Yes, you would say that.
In 2015, the Michigan Attorney General charged Shoemake with that scheme. But Robert Shoemake was a fugitive, living in Africa, portraying himself as a successful American businessman. In 2017, he came home and was arrested. When in court, he surrounded himself with a wall of big guys. Robert, would you like to say anything? In an effort to be fair. The company was found guilty of several felonies, and Robert pled guilty to 2 misdemeanors, but Judge James Alexander had strong words for the defendant.
You are a criminal. You have pled guilty to crimes, and now you are a criminal.
The judge also mentioned his overseas activities.
While you're on probation, you must not leave the United States. I don't want you representing my country. You're a criminal.
Robert paid restitution of more than $30,000 and was sentenced to time served. Shoemake is no longer on probation for that case. He then popped up on Fox 2 calling himself Shaman Shu, running a church in Detroit which promoted the use of magic mushrooms. The church was raided by Detroit police. There were no criminal charges filed, but the church was closed for being an unlicensed dispensary. Our Brandon Hudson interviewed Shu several times.
I'm totally stunned. It's a true Matrix moment right now to actually go through doing everything I needed to do to legalize, decriminalize, to put together a system so people could have healing.
Which brings us to the present. The shaman is now tripping on justice with a federal fraud case which could send him to prison for a long time. I contacted Robert Shoemake this afternoon via text and phone. Just a few minutes ago, he gave me a text saying, "Wolchek, great to hear from you. I will send you a statement tomorrow morning." I look forward to hearing what he has to say.